Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut, always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's Wildhus, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mr. G hosting today at Strawhat Sitdown episode 28. Alongside me we have D3.
Let's go, Joe.
What's good, brother? How you doing? And also Strawhat Mod.
What's good, y'all? What's good? Let's get it.
Let's get it. So Callie couldn't be on today. Wildhus is sick, so Wildhus get better. You know, Callie, good luck this weekend. Good luck tomorrow. I know you're flying out tomorrow. Yo, do your thing, brother. We all rooting for you. You know, you got the whole Strawhat Sitdown fleet rooting for you, bro.
Sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
So,
Wildhus,
you know,
hope you feel better, brother. I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
Get better, Wildhus.
Yeah, because that Rona's no joke. So,
Yeah.
Episode 28. I know we said we were going to do side content. We didn't do it for 2 weeks. You know, everyone needed a break. Some of us were on vacation. Some of us are sick now. But we had to get this one episode in because we had a lot of info dumped this last 4 weeks from Shonen Jump app, from Oda himself, with the Road to Laugh Tale, right? They showed we're gonna go through it a little bit, you know, just like glance through it, everyone. But yo, the stuff that I read today about this, that they showed was kind of OD. So I know Mod, I know you said you read it. Anything that you know stood out to you while going through it?
Yeah, I read it. And what you want to start, the very first one, or can we just jumble through?
I think we could just jumble through. I mean, unless D3, do you want to go through from it? Like, how you feeling? Like, you want to?
Y'all, however I want to do it, because I'm probably gonna read it after we're done anyway. Because I've been busy. I've been able to read it, but
no, I feel you. I just got to read it today, like going to work and coming back home on the bus. But yo, there was a lot of information. Let's just go from the beginning then. Let's just go through it, and the first picture, absolutely beautiful. The last laugh from Roger, like, way to start.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot. Yeah,
and then what I really enjoyed about this little, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, what would you call this? Like a little special? I don't know. Like
info dump, because these are throwaways or concepts or flash ideas and stuff.
Yo, I absolutely love, like, as a up and coming artist I'm doing my thing. Seeing his sketching and like all the things that he goes through is absolutely ridiculous. I love it so much.
Yeah, these are some pretty cool sketches. I think that like the one that had me like interested the most was, I think, from, what was it, the third one? Whichever one he was like illustrating like Joy Boy.
Yes.
The Nika fruit.
Yeah.
The main concepts from that one, I think that one had me the most interested.
That was cool.
Yeah, and then from the second one, I think the Kaido hybrid one was very interesting because like
that actually, I saw that on Twitter about like how they went with like he sketched like a different form for Kaido where he had like the super long neck. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked a lot more like a dragon
Yes.
in the original one, but I think he was like, yeah, I think this is a little on the nose or whatever, so he probably just went like with something. I honestly, I'm glad he went with the other one. Not that I don't like the idea of the long neck hybrid one, but I think the hybrid one that we have now is like a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more true to like what hybrids tend to look like in One Piece. Like with Rob Lucci and other characters, like they got the buff upper body and then like kind of smallish lower body.
Yeah.
No leg day, but
that is true. Yeah,
a lot of the bigger villains in One Piece are just skip leg day.
He would have looked like who was the guy with the giraffe fruit?
Kaku.
Kaku. He would have kind of looked similar, because of the long neck. If they had went with that route, it would be cool if like I don't know, he like Kaido transitioned while in hybrid, like his neck would just elongate, like when he goes to snap or some shit like that, and then he goes back to normal.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. I could definitely see that. I mean, he was pretty much doing something similar.
He was
throughout his fights with Luffy, and constantly mastery of changing his form on the fly for whatever he needed, or whatever he felt like. So yeah, I mean, we see now where he gets where he got the inspiration from for some of these ideas.
Yeah. Bro,
it's good I think it's always good to get a little bit of like insight on like an artist's thought process and this kind of things.
Yeah.
Also, me personally, from looking like the sketches and stuff, Oda's like rough sketches are like it's weird because it doesn't look like he takes his pen off the paper at all. It just looks like he keeps it. It looks like it's all just made from one singular line. It's kind of crazy to look at.
It is. It's kind of ridiculous. But then you see like, even though it's not a lot of detail, you see the detail there. Like you see Kaido's face forming and shit like that. Like,
yeah, it's cool. Like it looks really cool. Like his sketches kind of just give off like a really abstract art kind of look to him on top of it. It looks really interesting.
I would love to see like a whole chapter of just like the sketches, just real quick. Like
that would actually be sick. Yeah, I'd like that a lot.
Like I like to see like I know they've shown videos of like him doing like the cover page and like making the backgrounds, but like just the whole just the whole panel would be sick. Like King, oh man, like these sketches are OD. So okay, real quick, back to the first one because we went to number 2. The first one they talked a lot about early lore stuff, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that really caught me, it probably is because they talked a lot about Roger's story and his timeline, and I mean I didn't know this, but I thought it was pretty cool that he named his son Ace after his sword, right? Because his sword was named Ace as well. I noticed Teach Blackbeard named his ship the Saber of Expect, like another sword of Expect. So like, it goes
Saber of Sebek.
Yep, and like it just made me think that like, okay, if Roger named his son after his sword, what if I know there's theories out there that that Blackbeard might be his son, Expect's son. So like that, that definitely got me thinking that it could be true. I don't know what you guys think.
I think that's a pretty solid theory, honestly.
Right.
Like, what other reason would he have for him to name like his ship after Sebek?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense unless he was on the crew when he was a little tiny baby and we didn't know. Like that's the only other thing.
And also, his main headquarters is where Expect, I believe, they used to be as well. Like that used to be their
cool.
they used to be their headquarters as well. So
it would be really. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say it'd be really interesting if like Blackbeard was on Sebek's ship when he was a kid, the same way like Buggy and Shanks were on Roger's ship. Like I think that'd be pretty interesting.
I agree.
I think so. Pirate Island, that's the place or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of don't believe that that's his son per se, because sure, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I'm not like dismissing it. I just need to see like I need to see if Whitebeard or other members of the Rock Pirates knew that he had a son or something like that. Because if it's true that it was some type of God Valley incident or whatever like that, I would imagine his crew would already know that he had a son or something like that, or he had
That is true.
right, whatever. If it is true that Rox was destroyed on that island, or Rox, died, or whatever they said happened to Rox on that island, I guess it's technically possible that he could have had a kid at some other location or whatever, and then he grew up to find out his dad died or whatever, and that was Blackbeard. But I don't know. I think that if he went out to have a child, I feel like they would know. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
but it's possible. I mean, anything's possible. It's One Piece.
This is
Yeah,
One
it's
Piece. This is true.
It's the beauty of the show. You can find out some crazy shit out of nowhere, and it changes everything.
Right.
Absolutely everything, yo. So, and then also, they also made a change in here. It's the road poneglyphs are no longer called the road poneglyphs. They're calling them the lobe poneglyphs.
Or what?
Yeah.
Poneglyphs?
The lobe.
Low.
No.
So the thing is that, like, remember when we did the Jeopardy and Whitehus was talking about how, like, because I told him he needs to give me the technical answer for between the lumbar and rumbar pirates and stuff like that, and how they flip flop the L and the R between Japanese Japanese to English translational language and stuff like that. That's what this reminds me of. And then like just like how Raftel, and come to find out the name is Laughtail, but I feel like there's some like slips of like intentionality behind that. I don't think that all of it is like a complete accident. When I first found out that it was called Laughtail, I just chucked that up to, oh, that's just world government, keeping secrets and stuff like that. I mean, Crocus did call it Raftel, but maybe he didn't want to like spoil it or whatever. I don't know. So
no, that's possible. Also, like they did mention in this article, I guess, the info dump, like the lobe is I actually wrote it down. It's also because the island that they thought was the last one was called Lobestar Island, and also before they found Laughtail, right? And let's see. The Middle English term, lobe is a Middle English term that means guide, path, related to the word lead. A lobestar is a star that helps one charter their course. Example, the North Star.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just almost the same thing. Like you almost use them interchangeably, road, load, in that sense, because guiding, trying to lead a way, a pathway.
Yeah, true. I just like it because like the
It's
North
called
Star.
Lobestar?
Yeah, Lobestar.
I wonder, does the town being called Lobetown have anything to do with that? I could see it,
it's possible. Well,
it's like a guide or charter.
Yeah, because
start off going to Lobetown, like kind of makes sense.
That's what the whole thing was. Like they thought that was the last island. 'Cause that's where the what is it called? The navigation thing that Nami has. The I cannot think of the word for it right now.
Eternal post?
Yes.
Log posts?
The log post. Like that pointed to Lobe Town or Lobestar Island as the final island, but when they got there, it started going crazy. And that's when Roger was like, there's another island. And then that's when they found, like, he retraced his steps, and they eventually found, they needed Kozuki Oden to eventually find Laughtail, which was crazy.
And what you said earlier about Loketown and stuff like that. So here's an interesting thing. So, if you look at it, depending on how you look at it, One Piece in general, right?
Mhm.
Some could argue that One Piece technically, in all technicality, started once they actually left for the Grand Line. Some people, like for example, Mr. Morge, because he laid this out before, believe that East Blue Saga is the prelogue
Yeah,
to the One Piece, and
that's kind of how I've always viewed One Piece. Like I've always saw every like East Blue is like the prologue.
yeah,
Like
so
once they get to the Grand Line, I feel like that's when actual journey, so to speak, starts.
right. And if you look at Loketown, right, if you think of a book, there's a prelogue and a prologue and an
And the
epilogue.
epilogue. Mhm.
Yeah. If you look at, like, for example, Gold Roger, his journey began in Loketown because that's where he was born, which is the prologue, and then his journey ended at Loketown again, epilogue. So, and I'm pretty sure in the English translation, I could have swore in the anime they said this is the town of beginnings and the end or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if that's the case, then it can make a lot of sense. Like the whole Logstar, Loketown, all that other stuff. Prologue, epilogue, beginning, end,
True. You're right.
path. So so that's a pretty cool thing to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
Like.
that's cool, actually. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. And that's kind of not a huge change. It's a subtle change, but like, one that gives it more backstory to the whole thing. And also, they even, which was pretty cool, they even told you the locations of the low poneglyphs, past and present. So they tell you where they found Rogers on Rogers' quest, and now on the Straw Hat's quest. So, the two that are the same are on Zoe, right? The Zoe poneglyphs were the same on both Rogers' quest and Straw Hat's. While on Wano, that one was also the same, aside from the Shogun of Wano having it before, now Kaido has it. The one in Whole Cake was, they say the location's unknown, but the one that Roger found is the one that Big Mom had. So, and the final one that Roger found was in Fishman Island, but it's no longer in Fishman Island. So we don't know where that one is at all.
Okay.
So there's still that mystery that there's still one low poneglyph that needs to be accounted for. I wonder who else, because like who else went to Fishman Island? Not many people go to Fishman Island.
It was only people I could think of were Whitebeard, Big Mom, maybe
Whitebeard.
Blackbeard.
Maybe.
Well,
Blackbeard go to. Blackbeard go to Fishman Island.
Well, when the only real indication that we got that he went to Fishman Island is I don't remember this in the manga, but at least in the anime, when they showed that Whitebeard defended territories and he defended Fishman Island and stuff, and he was like, "This is my land," or "This is my territory." Da 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 da. He made this decree.
Yeah.
You saw a image of his commanders, such as Marco and stuff, and you also saw Blackbeard with the claws or the claw.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my god.
I didn't think about that.
So that means no, you're right.
So if that is like an actual real indication of him being there, it's possible that he did some underhanded shit,
bro,
or something.
You know what just hit me? Because they mentioned after reading this, they mentioned after Blackbeard read the newspaper about stuff happening in Riverie, right? That's when he was like, "Let's go get the spoils." What if the spoils is where he knows where the fucking like he goes to Fishman Island or whatever and he knows the location of the final poneglyph?
That's definitely possible. I mean,
That'd be insane.
we still don't know what he's saying. If the world government doesn't want it, I'll just take it or whatever.
Yeah, facts.
Oh.
Because everyone like all the lords are not back, home yet. You know what I mean? Like they were all still, being escorted back from Reverie and shit like that. So he could definitely have made moves. Also, the island that the pirate island is called Fullalede. Fullalede?
Crap, I forgot the name.
Fullalede. So
Yeah. Also, that was the territory that Whitebeard had as well. So after,
oh shit.
Yeah. So after Zebek, Whitebeard had that territory,
Word.
and then after Whitebeard died, Blackbeard, he took it over, and that's also, if I'm not mistaken, that's also one of the locations of where the Payback War happened.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
so
so much.
but yeah, it's crazy to think about, definitely.
So, onto a different subject. But I just gotta get you guys' opinion on this. I'll ask it probably again on Sunday when we have Khaled and White House. But since we're like overall done with Wano essentially and moving into the next arc, what y'all think? Like, as an arc, like, what was y'all's opinion on it?
As an arc altogether?
Yeah, just as an arc in general. Like, was it one of your favorites? Do you think it was lacking? Like, is there something you would have done different? Like, what do you think?
So I think it's hard to say. I need to figure out like what happens in the next couple of chapters. But as of right now, let's say hypothetically, if there was nothing left and we just immediately left for another island. Not gonna lie, I would think that this is one of the like weaker endings to an arc that I have personally seen from One Piece in terms of like just great endings, great closures, and all that other stuff. Because I mean, at the end of the day, some things just didn't sit well. Like I think when we were talking about the deaths of Ashura and Izo. Yeah. So I still stand by that statement. I still think that the Ashura death and especially the Izo death was very
lackluster.
Very lackluster. But what's funny? I watched the anime equivalent because it just I don't know if y'all watching the anime as well right now.
I have not. I don't know where they're at.
So they're at the part where Ashura died.
Okay.
And the way they did it here, it's a lot more understandable now versus like the manga. Okay. Yeah. So the manga. Right, if I'm not mistaken, when Ashura, shoot, it's been a little bit, but when Ashura
it has been,
yeah, but when Ashura jumped in to slash Odin and stuff like that, and Odin like stabbed him or whatever, and he couldn't bring himself to really commit to getting rid of the Odin fake because it was Odin's face and all that other stuff, right? So he died right there, right?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, he died.
No, I thought he did an explosion. Wasn't there an explosion?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't the explosion? I thought yeah, because he was barely alive and then the explosion happened and that was yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Because
so
he told them all to like get out of here, and then they all left.
And then they all left, but the explosion happened, and we didn't really see anything after that, right?
Yeah, we just assumed.
Yeah, we just assumed, like, okay, well, he's probably alive, I mean, Pell, wink, like, but he turned out he died. So the anime actually didn't just leave it like that. So the explosion happened, and you actually saw his dead body.
Okay.
They actually showed it. It's like, it looks kind of gruesome too.
Word. That's awesome.
Yeah, and like how it's depicted. It wasn't like actually gory or anything like that, but how it was depicted and stuff, like through
So
coloring,
it was just like
shadow text.
hard hitting and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it was very like I'm like, oh shit, he is dead. Yeah, he's dead here. And you saw the scabbards crying and getting mad as hell, and then they're screaming like conjure, like all this other stuff.
Okay, so
So
you feel
it
it.
was
It was better.
yeah, yeah, it was so they made it a lot clearer in the anime, and I feel like this is the main point that I'm talking about when it comes to the manga. There is so much, and I know One Piece. Like I know Otis said, anime helps fill out the manga or whatever. But this, something just feels off here. Like it just feels like there's so much lacking in certain aspects.
I just feel like there's just so much to it though, because like I remember when the fights with like Frankie and the Triceratops dude happened. People were after reading the manga, they're like, it was an okay fight. But after watching the anime, because I watched that fight at least, that shit was kind of fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like the anime definitely helps, bring out more.
Yeah, I feel like the anime does a really good job pulling things together, like from Wano in particular from the manga to the anime. The only thing I will say I didn't like that the anime did was, and I might get some flack for this, but I actually like hated how they did the Odin thing, like when everybody was on the top and all the scabbards did like the Tosca waterfall.
Yeah,
I hated how it looked in the anime, because they took away from like the actual like hard hitting like emotional side of it. Like we want to defeat you with our master's move, and made it all like flashy and looked like a fucking scene from like Power Rangers. Like personally, I didn't like it. But like that's the only thing that I like. Other than that, I think they do a really good job with everything. Like the Frankie fight, like you said, was really really good.
Yeah, like I remember people were mad disappointed in that fight after reading the manga.
Yeah,
so.
And oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to interject and say and ask y'all this. So sure. I definitely agree, and I definitely think it's cool that the anime help fleshes out the manga. But the problem that I think a lot of people have y'all know KOL, right? King of Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTuber King of Lightning.
Like anime YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah, he said it. He said this a couple of times, but he said for him, the anime is canon because there's so much detail that is being left out in the manga that it feels like you had no choice but to go to the anime. And let me ask y'all this: is that okay for like? Because here's the thing. I mean, I know it's technically okay, but I'm like, there's some manga only readers, and they probably don't want to go through the anime stuff to get to like the fulfilling stuff that they were looking for and that they had up until this point.
I'll give you my honest opinion on that. Right? I've read a good bit of One Piece and I've watched all of One Piece. I think the best experience I had with the show was when I was reading the show for the first time, and I was in Dressrosa. I was reading the like the runaround parts, right? Like I was reading when they got into the town trying to meet everybody. But when I saw a part that I felt like, let me get closer to my camera because it keeps cutting out. When I saw a part that I felt like looked important, I watched it. And I feel like that's the kind of thing that is a good balance with the show. Like the anime doesn't do a great job with the whole
pacing,
the whole pacing thing. The manga doesn't do the best job in like setting the tone, because you can't get the emotional voice acting, you can't get the feel, you can't get the music and like the tones and everything that you can in the anime. So I feel like balancing between the two is like the best way to go about it. Because like when I was reading Dressrosa, once all the fights started, I was in the anime. I didn't care about the Coliseum. Like I didn't have to see that in the anime, but it was like that kind of thing where I feel like hard hitting moments are better to be watched, whereas lore dumps and running around and filler arcs and all that kind of stuff is better to read, you know.
I feel that. Damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I was going to say that, I mean, that's going to happen with this series. You know what I mean? 25 years? That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit that this man has been, you know, putting into, like, with the manga. And you know, it's not like the anime, they don't go to Oda. Like, you know what I mean? They do. They consult him and stuff. So, like, I feel like at the end of the day for Oda, it's however you feel best, you know, to indulge yourself in One Piece. Whether you were anime only, anime hybrid with manga, or manga only, you know, it is what it is. And then to D3, to your question before about what I thought of this arc, I absolutely, like, overall, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. My only thing is, I don't know, because they kept saying that the stakes were going to be as high as Marineford, and to me, it didn't hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like Luffy was desperate. You know, not that the fight with Kaido wasn't desperate, but we always had this feeling that, all right, he's gonna pull through. I feel like this is like the first time where I felt like, yeah, they're gonna pull through. Like, everyone was winning their fights, no one was taking a real L, like. So to me, that was lackluster, and you know, and then also, I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, you want them to win, and then at the same time, when they don't and it looks a little easy, it's kind of like, damn, you know. I kind of wanted a bit more.
I think in my opinion of Wano, I think the first half of Wano was really, really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. Like, it made me really excited. But the more I got into, like, Roof Piece, I enjoyed it. But this could just be me. It might sound weird, but it didn't have that super tense.
It didn't.
Like,
No, you're right.
Feel that a lot of other arcs had. Like, I didn't see anyone in this arc that I was like, oh my god, he might die, or oh, they're actually in a lot of trouble. You know, like.
I feel like that's why they kept stating like Zoro's close to dying, but like we all know, we're like, no, he's not.
That shit didn't make sense either, because they didn't do anything with that. He saw the Grim Reaper. That was all we saw Zoro until Wano was done, and he's up. You know.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of weird holes that, like, weren't really filled, and I feel like
it felt a little rushed at the end.
I'm gonna just say it. So a main character needs to die. I'm sorry. Somebody's gotta go. Like, there's so much, and I get it's One Piece. Oda doesn't like killing his characters. Cool, you know, it happens. But I never really had this feeling when watching them fight the big bads of, like, oh, one of the crew is actually gonna lose their fight. Like, there's never really been a fight in One Piece where one of the members just gets absolutely fucking dog.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like if there was any arc to actually do that, it should have been Wano. Like, even if it was something simple, like, nobody, even if somebody didn't die, like, there could have been a fight where, say, for example, Ulti and Nami, like, Ulti and Usopp, like, could have just got absolutely fucking destroyed for, like, a whole chapter, like, to give the feel of, like,
he shit, did, though. They both
Usopp
did.
might actually die. Like,
you saw their skulls crack.
But it's not like we haven't seen that before, though. That happened in Alabasta.
That is true.
Like,
but it also happened to Nami too, though.
Yeah, but like, again, that's, like, to me personally, that's stuff I've already seen before, and it's not bad. It was enjoyed. It gave me a little bit of tension, but it's not that, oh my god, my heart's pounding like I got in Marineford, or like I got in, like, Water 7, or like it just didn't hit home for me as hard as I thought it was going to, because it got hyped up so much.
So, can I jump in real fast?
Yeah, for sure.
I 1000% completely get what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of it. I think, though, that after going, because I I don't get me wrong. I'm definitely on the idea that you guys are like the headspace, because I mean at the end of the day, Oda did say that this was gonna be like this was gonna make Marine 4 look like child's play, right?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely did
hold
not
on.
do that.
Did he say that? Did he say that about Wano specifically, or did he say that about like the end of One Piece? Because he said in an article there was going to be a war that would make Marine 4 like child's play. I don't think he said that specifically about Wano.
I think we all assumed that it would be Wano.
Do you think like maybe we kind of gaslit ourselves into thinking Wano was going to be that arc?
I agree.
No. I will not let y'all. I will not let you do this to yourself.
I'm just asking a question. Like, did we gaslight ourselves into thinking this was going to be the arc that like the stakes are going to be insanely high? Because like the stakes are high. Don't get me wrong. Like City was going to die.
Yeah.
Crew was going to get obliterated. But
like, no.
I felt like there was just something missing.
Yeah. So let me just say, like,
all right, for sure.
You are not wrong. You did not gaslight yourself. We did not gaslight ourselves.
All
so
right, cool.
This was look. This was set up all the way back in like as early as Thriller Bark, like the Ryuma shenanigans.
Yeah.
The like you. Yeah. I don't. When did you start reading One Piece or watching it?
Whole Cake had just finished when I actually started watching One Piece.
Okay. So the thing is that like when it was earlier than that, like I was on because I had started watching One Piece fully. I had caught up. The point that I caught up to was when Punk Hazard was just starting.
Okay.
And so you've been watching for a minute.
When
did I start? I started Marineford. Yeah, when the manga dropped. I was like, I mean, we've been at this for like what 10 plus years. Like, yeah, facts.
So the thing is, during that time frame, well, after the Thriller Bark stuff and after all the like Wano references and stuff, or like Wano foreshadowing and stuff, there were mass community theories about what was going to happen at Wano, why Wano is going to be like one of the best things are. This was supposed to be the arc that, you know, people were supposed to confirm if Kuwena was still alive or not.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that theory that Kuwena was going to be at Wano, the land of the samurai, the swordsman arc. This is going to be like the Zoro eccentric heavy
Zoro arc, not really.
Yeah, not really. Which, like, you know,
there was actually a lot less Zoro in this arc than I expected it to be.
Fact,
like, I don't mean to cut y'all off. Like, even going into Wano and seeing that it was the land of the samurai, first thing I thought of was, okay, this is Zoro's arc.
Yep.
Like this nigga's gonna get so much shine, like it's gonna be ridiculous, and then I feel like he might have got some of the least. Like he had big moments, but like I felt like he should have been the tippy top. Like Luffy should have been here, Zoro should have been like here. Like.
Yeah, exactly. And this is not just like gaslit, like all in your head expectations type thing. Like this was a legit build up. The Ryuma situation, the parallels to Ryuma and Zoro. You think like Ryuma was in Wano, and like Oda's one shot and stuff like that. People were making so many like community theories around that. Around what Zoro, you remember the freaking Zoro was going to kill Kaido theory? Like,
why were so many people on that?
Well, I mean,
so many people think that was going to happen.
It's because of the one shot, right? Ryuma killed the dragon, so everyone kept comparing Zoro to Ryuma, and then also Zoro cut off the dragon's head over at Punk Hazard too, kind of a little foreshadowing of him possibly doing the same thing to Kaido.
Yeah, people real life. I mean, I never believed it was going to happen, but people real life thought that it was like basically Zoro's destiny. Like it was written in stone. You don't know how many YouTube videos of YouTubers I saw that said Zoro was killing Kaido, and the only person and one of the only few people that combat this theory was Morge. And then I saw response videos as to why Morge was wrong, and like they were so freaking
milking that shit, bro.
They were so freaking like like gun ho on the idea that Zoro was going to kill Kaido. So there was high expectations for Zoro coming in, and this is going to be a Zoro eccentric arc. There's whether you believe he was going to kill Kaido or whether you just simply believe this is the land of the swords. There should be like he should be dealing with swordsmen all day, and then there should be some type of crazy backstory, or like understanding Kuina might be alive, hidden with the swordsmen, or something like that, or like she's with the swords. It's something like you just thought so many different things, and there was no Zoro expedition outside of the fact that he's related to a daimyo, maybe in some type of way.
Yeah.
Because Oda sure did dispel that by saying, nope, that's not his father. Calm down. Like, I'm like, oh, damn it, Oda. You give us this and you're like, you just take it away. Like, damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was so excited for Wano.
And
like,
then
ever since Thriller Bark, because I was like, damn, if this zombie is only a portion of the strength of like the people in Wano.
Yeah. No,
I was excited to see it, but like we didn't actually get to see anybody box any native Wano citizens. It was just Kaido's people.
No. Well, I mean, to be
outside
fair
of-
though,
well,
they're
the
all
sumo
starving
wrestler.
too.
The sumo wrestler. That was the only.
Counting that nigga. I'm not counting him.
No,
He's a native. He's a native.
I get you, D3, but I mean also we're not seeing Wano at its peak either too. You know what I mean?
Not fair.
You know.
Yeah.
So
And just one other thing. So I was on a track to say this. So Marineford, I had to realize, like, okay, because you're right. Maybe Oda didn't say, like, you know, Wano was going to make Marineford look like child's play or whatever.
He said the next war. I think is what he said in particular.
yeah.
Yeah, which I thought, you know, meant Wano, because I thought there was going to be like some type of.
No, but they're calling this the raid. So you know what I mean?
I want counter raid as a war. I feel
Exactly.
Bigger thing. You know?
Exactly. That's why I think that's where we as an audience are mistaken in like thinking that this was a war. No, this was the raid. The war's still coming. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the end game war, the One Piece, you know, whether that's right before Luffy gets the One Piece or right after or whatever that entails. I think that Marineford, right? I had to really reshape my thinking to kind of justify this. So Marineford is the place that Luffy realized that he was
Not ready.
he was not ready to take on the new world yet. He was a small fish in a huge ass pond, because Marineford is the war of the best. Literally, like some of the best fighters,
of the best.
were at that place. And if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, Luffy was only stronger than like the fodder, and that was it.
And even barely at that point, because he was getting folded.
Yeah.
He was getting folded by like Smoker. So, and I'm not calling Smoker fodder, but like
No, you're right though. You're
in
right.
consideration to everybody else, he was fodder.
He was first boss, bro. He was first boss.
Yeah, like the thing is that like Luffy was only able to power through like fodder-based marine, quote unquote, like captain level characters, or like characters with, because they made a distinction that if a marine has a coat, then they're like an elite, versus like a non-coat S marine is like a scrub or whatever, or very very super basic. So all those, even the fodder, were fighters, were legit fighters, and Luffy was somewhat struggling at least in hordes. Like individually he was taking them, but like in hordes they were kind of getting to him after a while. But he was barely stronger than hordes of them.
That's true.
And like, but the big players, even like the minor big players, were over him, and they had to protect him. He couldn't deal with a lot of obstacles that were in his way, and that's what Marineford is supposed to make him realize, because Kizaru kept rubbing it in his face. You can't protect your brother. You're too weak. Blah blah blah. Like how you can't do nothing here. And he ridiculed Whitebeard, saying like it's weird for you to be like someone like you to like lead your forces behind someone like him, or implying like he's nowhere near ready for this level. He has no business being here.
Which is
but
true.
But that made me realize that that's what that arc was designed to do, to make the audience realize that he wasn't there. So I think when we went to Wano, we kind of had some expectations that he wasn't ready there too, because of what he was dealing with. But Marineford, the training arc after Marineford, is what's supposed to get him ready for Wano. If you think about it,
took 2 years.
Yeah, that was the whole point. So if it feels like he was not cruising, but if it feels like he had a way easier time here than he did Marineford, it kind of only makes sense if you think about it like that, because Marineford was the prep for this moment. If he had like skipped Marineford and tried to come, first of all, I don't even think he would have made it that far to Wano, but to Wano in the first place. But let's say he luckily did, he would have been massacred, and his whole crew, and everybody would have been dead. But so realistically, I mean, does it feel kind of like rushed, a little bit cheapened, a little bit? But I think that's because
of how powerful he's gotten, and then the whole crew really.
I mean, I think it's not that we, it's not that we underestimate. I mean, we overestimated Kaido and his forces. I think we kind of just underestimated how strong Luffy and his crew got.
Possible, and then also, I mean, he did get Gear 5, like so. Shit,
he
pulled that out the bag.
Yeah, and even with all that training and stuff, he still lost like 3 times to Kaido. The way I look at it is like this now. Marineford was the testing ground to get him ready to be capable of just simply losing to Kaido and getting back up.
It set the bar.
Because if he never went through a Marineford, he'll just been straight up dead. Straight up dead. So this is how I look at it now, and looking at it through those lens, that Marineford was the bar setter for like what Luffy needs to be able to achieve in order to be able to take on someone like Kaido and stuff like that. It makes a lot more sense to me as to why it feels like him, not only just him, but him and his crew seemed like the stakes weren't as crazy as something like Marineford. And then something else was brought up that I heard. Luffy wasn't the main. Someone said that Luffy was not the main protagonist of Marineford. It was actually Whitebeard, and it was Whitebeard's closer, Whitebeard's story, and the way he is going out and stuff like that. Because you look
that was
at
his
it,
final moments. The
Whitebeard moments were like the peak of Marineford, not necessarily the Luffy moments. Outside of like Luffy setting his brother free, and Luffy walking away from that devastated. Whitebeard walked out of there mostly as like a strong man. Even if he lost it at the end of the day and he died great. Like he died fantastically. So and that freaking narrator outro to him, Whitebeard was like the main character of that arc.
100%. 100%.
So it makes sense for Luffy to lose there, but he's the main character again, and for Wano and stuff like that, it would not make sense for him to just constantly lose, and then like just what after that. So
true.
Yeah, I mean that's how I'm kind of looking at it now. It's even with that, I still have some gripes, like I said, the deaths and stuff like that. But overall, like you said, Mister, Wano, I still love.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would put it as like it's not my favorite. I don't honestly even know if it's my top 2 or whatever, but it's still pretty good. I just didn't like how it like closed out, but it's still a pretty great arc overall. In my opinion.
I still think it also depends on like where next chapter is. If we're still in Wano, like I'm still gonna put that with Wano. You know what I mean? Like if we find out anything crazy next chapter, like so like there's still like I know we're going to the end. But I don't think this is like it for Wano, because there's too much lore. Like we've been saying, there's too much lore and like connected to the One Piece itself. Like with the the Kozuki being the stonemasons. Like even Odin didn't know that the Kozuki crest was on Zoe. You know what I mean? So like, there's a whole like bunch of things that we could always come back to, you know. Yeah. But also real quick,
I just think as it is right now, it's just kind of.
No, I feel you. But also with the Marineford thing, like yeah, Whitebeard definitely was like the main character of that arc. I mean, that's the first time we really see him, and then like he really like does his thing. But it was a passing of the torch from Whitebeard and Ace to Luffy, because like once Whitebeard saw Luffy pull out the Conqueror's Haki, he was like, all right, I need to protect this kid. You know what I mean? Like, and then also the fact that his own son gave like Ace gave his life to save his brother. That's another passing of the torch there, and that's why Marco is still so attached to Luffy, and like he's like the last one of the Whitebeard crew. I wonder what the fuck he's gonna do, because he's a Phoenix, bro. That motherfucker could live for a while.
I'm saying.
Shoot. But
I got. Speaking of Whitebeard, I just saw this in the group chat earlier today. You guys, there was a little discussion going about.
I was gonna bring it up too. Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, about whose story was better, Whitebeard or Big Mom's.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people on Twitter are saying that Whitebeard's a more developed character than Big Mom is, and some people are saying that Big Mom is a better character than like all of Whitebeard. So, like, what do you guys think?
I think they're even. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think one is better than the other. I honestly, if we're being real though, I think that Big Mom has more of a fleshed out
story,
background and story and everything. So you understand, and you saw so many different aspects of Big Mom throughout the story that you kind of have no choice but to kind of concede that to Big Mom. However, Whitebeard also has the so here's the thing. I don't believe that you just need to strictly see how a character is to just get the most out of character depth. There's two ways to do it. There's the direct method where you're obviously looking at a character, looking at their behavior, their past, and all this stuff directly through the lens of them. And then you got like the legend, the mythos, the hearsay, that stuff, which in my opinion has always been Whitebeard, because Whitebeard is grander than life. That's the moniker that even though he's just a man, at the end of the day, that's what he exudes. He exudes a grander than life atmosphere. That's why he was drawn so tall compared to other characters and stuff like that. He's supposed to be meant to be larger than life. So when you get an info dump on Whitebeard, it's going to be through other characters, just like how you didn't know anything about his background and stuff until you talked to like Marco. You didn't get that background through him or anything like that, right? It's Marco who gave the background. And then talking about his strength when he was a kid was the world government, when they would say this Weevil's strength reminds me of Whitebeard when he was a kid, or blah blah blah. So it's the mythos, the legend behind Whitebeard that you get the info dump and the character development. So and you get plenty of that from that side of Whitebeard, and you're going to get even more of it later, especially with the Rock stuff, more world government. All you're going to get so much info dump, and then also what Marco was like, flashback through Odin. And Marco, when he was talking about, when they were talking about the Lunarians and stuff like that, like, you're going to get a lot of Whitebeard info dump through third parties or other sources. So, to me, in my opinion, it's even. That's how I look at it.
The only reason I would say it's not even, I think it's kind of hard because, Big Mom has had a lot of screen time. She has had a shitload of screen time, 2 arcs worth.
She's the most, she's the young that's had the most screen time like the entire show.
Yeah, and she was even teased over at Fishman Island too. You know what I mean? So the fact that I'll have to give it to Whitebeard only because this dude had 1 arc, and he imprinted himself on it. You know what I mean? And then that was it. Everyone's like, oh man, fuck, Whitebeard is fucking OD. Meanwhile, like Big Mom's been in 2, and now people are questioning her. I still think she's fucking menacing as fuck, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That woman scares me, and them
Yeah.
powers are OD. But
Yeah, I don't know how people can take away, like, Big Mom is scary as hell. After one, I know a lot of people are like, man, Big Mom, whatever, she got blah 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 blah. Look, Big Mom, she was freaking menacing when she fought Kid and Law, and afterwards, like, you know how much shit they flung at the wall, but to stop Big Mom, and how lucky they got too.
Bro,
on top of that.
Or
Like-
let alone Big Mom's backstory. Like, so, as a child, she killed 2 giants by herself, bro.
Bro,
Right.
bro.
And these were head leaders too.
Head
These were, like,
leaders.
Yes, like, bruh. Like, in my opinion, I think personally, Whitebeard's story hits more for me. Like, I enjoy it more, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Like, Big Mom has a great story. Like, I think she has great character development, which is
I agree.
Good character. But personally, I like Whitebeard.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
if you personally like Whitebeard, that's
Yeah,
completely
I
fair.
just can't sit here and be like, oh, you know, Big Mom's story is whack because I like
No.
Whitebeard. Like,
No, yeah, I'm not saying that her story is whack. I think her story is fantastic. It's just, what I'm saying is just Whitebeard's impact was fucking
Whitebeard
huge
is
in
the
one arc.
GOAT, bro.
Yeah. You know, and I don't know. I do feel like Big Mom, she got the shaft a lot of the times because they downplayed her dumb hard. Like when she had amnesia, like what was that about? You know what I mean? Like I feel like
it just goes to show that, like, the Yonko. So here's the thing, Whitebeard is like I said, Whitebeard represents the mythos. He also represents, like, this is what it means to be a Yonko. Now, he was for the longest time, probably at the top, the tippity top of the One Piece world.
Bro, he was gatekeeping, bro. He was gatekeeping dumb hard.
Yeah, but as time went on, he, deteriorated. He, wasn't, like, at the pinnacle anymore. Or, I mean, I don't know. Some people might argue that Whitebeard was the strongest Yonko at Marine Forward, being sick and stuff. I don't think that. I think that he might have been, like, at that point, one of the weakest Yonko. But
he was basically on his deathbed before he was into the war.
Right, and I felt like Marco confirmed that because the minute that Whitebeard was taking all the IVs and stuff off, saying, like, you want my opponents to have sympathy for me, what the fuck, like, and it was at that point he was on the slow decline and stuff like that. I think, like, and Marco confirmed it, like, he wasn't the same anymore. So, but some people will still argue that he was the strongest just because he had the Sengoku gave him the world's strongest man, But I think that was out of respect, not necessarily out of a representation of where his current strength was.
Yeah, because even who else will be the world's strongest man at that point? Even if just think about everything that Whitebeard did up to that point. There's nobody that could compare other than Roger that was still alive. Like,
No, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at his actual accomplishments, which were still very impressive at Marine Forward, mind you, I'm not taking nothing away from Whitebeard. That man went ham.
Bro,
but
3 admirals, shit.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're called the world's strongest man, but his blast couldn't break through the combined hockey of three admirals. Which I feel like if he was legit the world's strongest man and he has literally the power to destroy the world, I don't feel like 3 admirals, accurately represents someone who to stop someone who can literally destroy the world at the drop of a dime or whatever. I mean, maybe that could be exaggerated or whatever for the sake of mythos and stuff, which, like I said, is literally Whitebeard, which I love about him, but at the end of the day, he did do a lot of damage at Marine Forward, but he couldn't destroy it. He couldn't sink it like he said he was going to do.
Well, I mean, that's because he was at his deathbed, though. But that's like the point that I'm trying to get at. At Marine Forward, I don't believe he was like the strongest Yonko there. When he showed up and hit the deck with the Moby Dick and stuff. At that point that he showed up to Marine Forward, he was not the strongest Yonko. That's what I'm trying to say. Even post stab of Squar. Okay.
That's how I personally feel. But
so you think it was Kaido?
I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't know. I don't know where Shanks lines up in the power hierarchy. Some people feel like Shanks is the strongest character. Some people feel like Shanks is the weakest Yonko. Whatever it is, like
that's such a weird discussion for me because, like, I didn't mean to cut you off or jump in, but how do people even discuss Shanks when he hasn't even fought?
That's fair. That is fair.
Because you got because you can in One Piece, right? If you talk about like power scaling and stuff like that, there's no clear cut way like other series like Dragon Ball. You have power levels, you have ki, you have all this other stuff to determine what character is stronger than who. You in Naruto, you got class systems, you got like Naruto like ninja ranking systems and all that other stuff, plus Hokage, plus Jonin and all the blah blah blah. So it's clearly easy to tell who's stronger than who. Bleach, you got captains, etc., etc. You get the point. In One Piece, you don't really have that.
You kind of do though. You
not really, not to the same degree. And
I know. Agreed.
I don't feel like it's to the same degree. Which
it's not. It's
definitely
not
power scaling, like in the show.
It's not just that, but real quick, before you continue, Mod. The latest. Right, the last chapter of Road to Laugh Tale, the bounty rankings, and that's what the people in One Piece you normally go off of.
Yeah,
most of the time, most of the people in One Piece go off of the bounty rankings, right?
Well, it's hard to say. Honestly, it's really hard. That's why I say in One Piece is weird.
It is. No, you're right. I don't disagree.
Okay. So the problem with bounties, right? Like, I know bounties are supposed to be like a way to gauge like the power of a character.
Yeah.
But the problem is that like, and I'm not one to think that bounties don't mean strength, because I think that's kind of ridiculous to think that.
Okay.
But I will say that there's no like clear-cut path to what a bounty represents, because here's the thing: you got some things you got to take into consider. A bounty, for one, by definition of the One Piece world, is just perceived threat level. Your perceived threat level to the world government, not to other characters or other things. To them specifically, this is how they view you as a threat to them directly. So with that in mind, you also have to keep in the fact that, like, sure, some other things that they consider for bounties, like not just the fact that how strong you are, but do you kill other citizens?
The size of your crew.
How often do you screw with their plans? Et cetera, all that other stuff. The knowledge in Nickel Robbins' case, et cetera. Yeah. But the thing is that even with all that being said, a bounty is still very difficult to pinpoint exactly how strong it is. A character is, especially like for main characters, because here's the thing: each bounty that they get is not necessarily because they are getting stronger through each island.
No, it's sometimes their feats.
Sometimes Luffy is steamrolling people, 4 or 5 villains, whatever. Just like in East Blue. East Blue, Luffy was at a 0 bounty, right?
Yeah.
And he steamrolled 4 villains to get a 30 million berry bounty, right?
Well,
and
we could even go with present shit. I mean, he beat Kaido by himself. Meanwhile, Law and Kid, beat Big Mom together, and they're all still the same bounty.
Well, yeah, but like the big point I'm trying to get at is that like a bounty is not the bounty that they currently have. It's the bounty by the end of the point that they are at their peak of their strength that matters more so than the bounty that they currently have. So like I said, that 30 million berry bounty was not an accurate representation of how strong Luffy was at that time. That's what I'm trying to say, because from that point up to when he fought Crocodile, there was no actual avenue of him getting stronger. There was no training arc. There was nothing that showed that he was distinctively stronger. It was after he defeated Crocodile and he had that 100 million berry bounty. Then he hit like a roadblock when he got up to like, Rob Lucci and CP0. Then he trained or whatever he did off screen to get Gear second. beat them, then got a 300 million.
Yeah.
And then it was like, boom, okay, now this is my accurate representation of where I currently am or whatever. So, and even post time skip, when they jumped it from 300 million to 400 or whatever, post time skip, when it first started, that 400 million was not an accurate representation of where Luffy was, because guess what? He steamrolled Hordy, he steamrolled Caesar, didn't get any stronger between that point, and then he fought Don Chinjiao, who has a 500 million berry bounty, that's higher, 100 million higher than Luffy, and Luffy kind of steamrolled him too.
Yeah.
And then he fought Doflamingo, got and showed that he had Gear 4. But at the end of the day, his bounty was what, 500 million? And his after that point, and 500 million was literally the same as Don Chinjiao, but they did say Don Chinjiao is not the same as like his heyday, which I get. Yeah. But like, you see what I'm trying to say? Like
I get it. I'm just saying, like, the people in One Piece, how they perceive bounties, like, they themselves, Shanks, out of all the emperors, was the lowest one, aside from Blackbeard, because he's new. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like when Whitebeard went out, like, I feel like everyone perceived Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, and now Blackbeard. But you know, now with Luffy and Buggy, who knows? Like, that shit changed. Like, I don't know. And also, the government could also be lowering Shanks's bounty on purpose if he's on their side. Who knows? You know, so there's always that possibility. But no, you're right though, because like we haven't seen Shanks fought. Like, you can't really use bounties and like, as a way to measure their strength, because
not at least not fully. Because,
not fully. Just a little. It could give you an indication, but like.
Obviously, like Yonkos and stuff like that, they're like in a caliber of their own. The show clearly set the precedence that even if Yonko has a lower bounty than the other, these guys are supposed to be generally speaking, relatively around the same strength, maybe. Or at least to the point that, like, it would be a major problem if a Yonko fought another Yonko. Yeah. Like, it would just be a major problem. Not to say that they would take draw or anything, but it would just be a devastation of forces on both sides if a Yonko fought another Yonko. That's what I interpret that is. So the Yonko don't mess with each other. It's like, hey, bro, we ain't got to do all that. You stay over there, I stay over here. Okay, cool. Like okay, like that's how I view the Yonko, because they're that strong, and that's how the Marines are. Like, okay, Marines, like, y'all don't want it. Nope, y'all don't want it. Nope, you stay over there, I stay over here. We good.
The Marines would not have been able to handle both Whitebeard and Kaido at the same time.
No, not at all.
That's why Shanks stopped that shit from happening. Right. So
And then on top of that, like, I think it just would have been a crazier bloodbath if Kaido got there. But
that shit would have been crazy, bro.
But
crazy.
I mean, we see that, like, Marines are scared of two Yonko collabing, which did happen between Big Mom and Kaido. But they fear that so much. Like, if two Yonko paired up, it's a major problem, to the point that they try to actively sabotage it or try to stop it from happening. Like, they try to intercept Shanks from meeting with Whitebeard, and Shanks like, man, get the fuck out of here. And so clearly they set the precedence for Yonko, and like all I'm trying to say is One Piece has some of the most blurry lined power scaling. So the reason why people will talk about Shanks being like the strongest or the weakest or whatever, it's because the next best thing after hardcore like feats / like setting precedents and stuff like that is just portrayal. Portrayal is like huge in One Piece in terms of power scaling, because how Oda portrays a character usually shows like how strong a character is, and because Shanks has some of the most hypest portrayal, the most badass portrayal, and some of the greatest portrayal in the entirety of One Piece, it can skew Shanks your perception of Shanks of him being either the strongest, or some people will be like, man, get that portrayal shit up out of here. He's the weakest.
No,
it's
you're right though.
So yeah,
definitely all perspective, and also like you got to account. You know, Shanks is one of rolled up on the Gorosei. You know what I mean? Like no one else be doing that shit. So, you know, so there is a lot to say about that, and also how you were saying portrayal. Who is someone that's been perceived to be super strong, and we don't know really shit about Mihawk, and he is also known as fucking Shanks' rival. So no, you 100% right on that.
Yeah, and for the longest time, the community including myself, I'll be the first one to admit, downplayed Mihawk a long time ago because
don't play with my boy, yo, shit.
Oh no. Like I said, that was a long time ago. Like that was when, because here's the thing about portrayal. Portrayal is tricky because like the actions that go to show for it, you could take them for face value, or the problem with portrayal is you got to really deep dive into it to understand what this portrayal means. And at the time, I mean, I was way younger. I was like, when I got into One Piece and I caught up to Marineford, I was 17. So yeah, like I'm 28 now. So when Marineford, and I saw that, and I was like looking at Mihawk and stuff. I mean, I was like, oh, so I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Mihawk was strong as shit still. I'm like, okay, Mihawk is about the same level as like Beasta because you know they're clashing back and forth and stuff like that. You know, he's probably like around the commander, and then he did the slash at Whitebeard, and Jozu blocked it and threw it up. So he's probably about as strong as a commander. Okay, cool. But you know, as time went on, I'm like, whoa, okay, I need to rethink like everything I thought because clearly this is not it. Because there's no way he could just be simply a Yonko commander tiered character. He has to be way stronger than that.
Yeah, I mean, so to be seen as Shanks' rival, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So exactly, so that's what portrayal does. Like portrayal can make a character look a certain type of way, but the whole point of portrayal is to deep dive it and to not look at it for face value and actually go beyond the face value stuff, because then you wouldn't get the insight that, oh, maybe the reason why Jozu blocked it was because the slash was intended for Whitebeard, but he didn't use the breath of all things, so he probably would have been able to cut Jozu if he wanted to, just like when he did with Mr. One, where at first when he was trying to cut Luffy or whatever, he blocked it, but the second he was like, oh, okay, I know, I got you, and then he slashed him and it was over. So you know, like it's.
I also feel like Mihawk wasn't. Not that he wasn't serious, but I feel like he did. I feel like he didn't want to be there.
He wasn't serious. If you think about it, there's another thing that I did not pay attention to when I was younger at the time. He did no sword slash name attacks.
Yeah, bro.
These were all straight up, like, just regular swings to him.
He was just there to be there because he had to. Because he's like, all right, I'm a warlord. I have to be here. I have to do something. So let me just swing my sword. Kind of like when in Avengers Endgame when they go back in time and Hulk, you know, Professor Hulk is like, I guess I'll rip my shirt, you know, and throw his boulder, like. You know, I feel like Mihawk was doing the same shit, like, I guess, you know, whatever. But, no, if he was serious, like we said, we have not seen that boy serious at all. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does. Ooh, another thing real quick.
I think was D3, were you about to say something?
I just said, I was going to say, could we, like, I got to be in bed soon because I've been up since, like, 7. I'm getting kind of exhausted. It's mad late.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fine, fine. Real quick.
Okay.
The last thing I want to mention about the Road to Laughtail, in the third one, right? They showed you the 10 captains of Blackbeard's crew, right?
Really?
Yeah, and was it the third one or second one? My bad, second one. But they don't show you the 10th one. It's a question mark. So, you know, it made me wonder. All right, right here. So we have Shiryu of the Rain. Jesus Burgess, Pizarro, Van Algar, you know, all the ones, and then we have the question mark who I think might be Aokiji. Who knows?
No.
I personally don't think it's Aokiji. I think it's going to be someone else that we don't realize. I think Aokiji's role has been solidified as like, well, not solidified, but I think he's definitely like a member of Sword. In some type of way.
So my whole thing, what I think it could be Aokiji. Like he's just because we did see him with Blackbeard before, and what if he's doing the triple agent? You know what I mean? Like it's a possibility, or fucking it's someone that is in the Marines right now. Like let's say fucking Ryugoku or some shit like that.
It's Kobe.
Bro. My man said Kobe.
I'm just fucking around. This shit will be funny though.
No, but you know, it could definitely be someone that's gonna definitely surprise us because they're keeping that a secret for a reason. And
it's definitely gonna be a big surprise.
But yeah,
hey, you'd be weak if it was Moria.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, look, I'd be the only one that would be cool.
You saw D3 light up just now. Yo, D3 eyes just lit up right now. Yo, he said Moria. Yo, Moria joined the crew. Yo, he's a cap now.
Because I mean, they clearly want his devil fruit. I mean, Blackbeard was like, "Oh, hey, Moria, chill. Like, why don't you help me out or whatever."
Real quick on that, because since before we end, on the third chapter of the Road to Laugh Tale, they actually tell you everyone that has a devil fruit in the series and who's it's been transferred to. And if you go to the Moria, we still don't know. It still says that he has it, so we don't know if he's dead or not. So there's a possibility that he could be the 10th. Who knows?
I'll be sick. I'd like that a lot.
We'll be sick. But they went all out with this shit. The Road to Laugh Tale, D3 definitely get a chance because they tell you all the graded swords. Like they showed you all that shit, bro. All the like I said, the devil fruits. Like they went off. Apparently, Robin, her Gigante Flor form and her devil form were supposed to be like together, not different things. I kind of like that they're different. But
I do too.
I like it that it's different too. She got an actual transformation or whatever. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really cool.
But it is getting late. We went a bit longer than I thought we would, and I'm happy about that. Yo, thank you guys for joining and being here. We doing our thing. Thank you everyone in chat. I saw Callie Mac lurking. Thank you all for joining. Callie, do your thing this weekend. We'll see you Sunday. Why us feel better. And with that, we'll see you guys on Sunday. We're good to see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, we're back, baby. New chapter.
New chapter. Oh my goodness. Let's go. And
longest month.
Oh, for real. And episode 29, we are two episodes away from 30, Thank you all so much, And with that, we're gonna end it. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
That was a good episode.
Yes,
that was pretty fun.